You might think that setting boundaries means building walls, but what if I told you that a healthy boundaries actually looks more like you owning your house? When you think about owning a house, you own it, right? It's yours. Your name is on the deed. When people come into your home, they have to respect your rules. You have the opportunity to show people around your house. You also have the opportunity to kick people out when it's time for them to leave. Now, you can be hospitable to those people as much as you want. You can feed them. You can say, hey, take your shoes off when you come in. Feel free to relax. We can talk. We can communicate. We can commune together. But at the end of the day, this is not your house. This is my house. I have my rules, my regulations, my boundaries. And when it's time to go, it's time to go. And so the concept of owning your own home and being hospitable to the people that you love, that you care about, is great. It's excellent. And whenever you go into someone else's house, you understand that it is their house and you are respecting their privacy. You're respecting the fact that it is their house, and whatever rules, regulations, or principles or cultural expectations that they have, that you do your best to live up to those expectations. I think honestly, that is the same thing with setting healthy regulatory relationship boundaries for the people in your life. It doesn't mean that you're not hospitable. It doesn't mean that you're not a nice person. It doesn't mean that you can't invite them into certain aspects of your life. But it does mean that you do have the autonomy to make certain decisions that are not just best for you, but also going to be best for the relationship as a whole. My name is Dr. Phil Sarpon. I'm a clinical psychologist, and this channel is dedicated to all things psychology, wellness, and graduate school. Today, we're talking about setting healthy boundaries for your relationships, whether romantic or whether from friends and family members. One of the two things that I often see as a psychologist when it comes to setting up boundaries is that a lot of times people will think that they are setting up good boundaries, but really they're just avoiding or overcomplicating their boundaries. And so here's what I mean by that. Avoiding could be you invite someone into your home, but you don't show them where the kitchen is, you don't show them where the bathroom is, you don't show them where to sit. You just kind of have decided, you're in my house, you can do whatever you like. And there's no rules, there's no regulations, there's no communication of the principles that you want to have for this person as they come into your home. And so therefore, this person can do whatever they want. They can stay inside your home as long as they want. They can use your kitchen, your bathroom, your bedroom. It does not matter. It's almost as if they own the home and it's not you. The other thing that I see oftentimes is overcomplicating boundaries. And so let's say you invite someone into your home and there's a lot of rules. Like they can't take their shoes off. They can take one shoe off, but not the other. They can come into the kitchen, but they can't go into the living room. They have to use one part of the house for the bathroom. They can go outside, but they can't stay outside too long. And you just have all of these complex, overcomplicated rules that don't really make any sense. It makes you feel confused and it makes them feel confused because they're like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing here. You've welcomed me into the home, but you're not really treating me as a heartwarming visitor. Or you're saying these things, these rules and regulations, but they don't make any sense. They seem overcomplicated. And I actually end up leaving the house more confused about these principles and these rules and these regulations. When it comes to your life and sharing your life with another person, I think it's important to have those boundaries, but I think it's important to have realistic boundaries and have clear expectations and communication about the life that you want in terms of sharing that life with another person. Hopefully not overcomplicating to a point where they don't know what to do. They don't know when to take off their shoes. They don't know when to leave. They don't know when to come in. They don't know how to knock. They don't know anything. They're just kind of like going with the flow. And maybe even every time they come into the home, there's new rules and there's new expectations and there's new regulations. And so they're constantly having to guess what your expectations are every time they come into the house. That is an example of overcomplications of things that don't need to be overcomplicated. And the thing about setting healthy boundaries is that those boundaries are consistent, that they maintain throughout the course of the relationship, and that both people have mutual understanding that these are the expectations, regulations, principles, and rules that are set in stone for the relationship. Now, it doesn't mean that these are rigid rules that can never be changed, but if they're changing constantly over time, both people and both parties are going to be left confused, perhaps resentful, and not really want to invest and engage in the relationship. Now, when you think about your house, there are certain places that are very intimate for you. Usually when someone comes into the front door, they usually come into the kitchen and they go into the living room and they go into the bathroom. Those are probably the three most common places that you will go to, even as an own visitor, for someone inviting you into their home. Usually an invitation into the bedroom, an invitation to a room that means a lot for you, is a very personable and interpersonally deep, connective invitation, right? And so you have to understand that there's going to be different areas of the home that are green, that are yellow, and that are red, right? Some people may only stay in the kitchen. Some people may only stay in the living room. Some people might go out to the patio and enjoy the backyard. But there may be few people who will go to certain types of the home, certain places of the home, and use your personal bathroom or go into your bedroom, right? Those may be reserved for the people that are closest to you, that people that you share vulnerably with and whom you live with potentially, all right? So I think it's important that when you set healthy boundaries, you have to understand who is going to be in the green area, the yellow area, or the red area of your home and of who you are as a person. There are some things that you should keep private to yourself, but there are also some context of relationships based on the depth and the intimacy of the relationship that hopefully you can share vulnerably, openly with, and feel safe with in terms of sharing that part of your life with that person. Here are some actual examples of things that you can do in terms of setting good boundaries for yourself in a realistic setting. The first thing is saying no. Being able to say no unapologetically, without any guilt, without any shame. If someone constantly wants to hang out with you, it's okay to say no, to take care of yourself as well. The other thing is saying things like, hey, I'll call you back later, or maybe we can get some time later, or making sure that you are arranging your timeline and your life in a way that is also in accordance with your values and with who you are as a person. Understand that boundaries aren't about controlling other people. When someone steps into your home, it's not like you're controlling them and telling them exactly where to go. You're inviting people into your life, and it's okay to have those rules, regulations, and principles so that they can be respectful of them when they are invited into your home and into your life. And that is a great way to protect your energy. It's a great way to preserve your energy. There are going to be things that take away your energy and things that are going to give you energy. It really boils down to respecting yourself and your sanity and the health of who you are, but also being okay with giving and serving another person who you find to be very connected with, that you love, that you care about, that you cherish about. Whether, again, they're a friend, an acquaintance, a coworker, a family member, a friend, or a loved one, that there are aspects of the relationship that have those healthy dynamics based on the intimate connection or deep connection that you have with that individual. And so hopefully you found this video helpful. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video.